Run that shit up, Chase.
Welcome back, eSIM Studios. Let me turn down this music and we'll get started here. Y'all ready? All right, let's go.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
We are live on this Saturday afternoon, August the 15th, 2026. My name is Taylor Bell. This is eSIM Studios. Welcome to the most interactive YouTube channel, tech YouTube channel, shall I say. It's a pleasure to have you in here on this weekend. I do apologize for the late delay. I had some other obligations that I totally forgot about when I scheduled this yesterday, so I apologize. Thank you for joining us. So today we're gonna go over some interesting news stories, and then if there's anybody that wants to join the panel, ask questions, you got some opinions on some stuff, you're more than welcome to join me. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. I'll put the link in the chat here in just a little bit. You can come up and discuss technology, right, on a good Saturday evening. So we will do that. Maybe get your opinion on the Pixel launches, right? Samsung, OnePlus going away. Maybe the new Graphene OS device being launched from Motorola. What are we gonna see from that? How are the Pixels gonna fare out, hold up over the next year against the other flagships it's up against? Are you looking forward to the Pixel? Are you not looking forward to the Pixel? Are you getting one? Are you not? Do you prefer Samsung? Should you get a Signature or should you get a Pixel 11 Pro XL? Right? Who knows? Who knows? But we shall get into it. What's going on, everybody? Let's see. What'd you get? Today you got the new military style case for the OnePlus 15. Even has a 360-degree kickstand, makes it even look more badass. That's pretty cool. I did when the OnePlus 15 first came out, I did a ton of case reviews, and I think I gave all of them away. Honestly, I think I only have 2 left. In fact, I gave one away, and then I was like, damn, I like that. I missed that case, so I bought another one. But I'm going to be doing case reviews for the Pixel 11 series. I'm going to get back into the swing of things. I would say I used to love doing case reviews. I love doing case reviews. I love cases. Now, I think we would shock a bunch of y'all if you saw how many cases we have. My wife has probably 100. I'm not even exaggerating. In fact, I think I've uploaded the last couple of Pixel launches. We give our cases away. I've shipped a whole box full of cases to somebody a year or two ago. Literally a trash bag full of cases. So subscribe. If you're not subscribed, stick around, because I'm sure when we upgrade to the Pixel 11 series, we have a ton. Some of them are girly, okay, so you don't have to use those. I can throw those to the side, but some of them are not. Some of them are mine. If you have a Pixel 10 Pro, you can have them. Because, look, I've tried to sell them in the past, like on Mercari and some other platforms, but, you got to pay for shipping, and those prices have increased. So I'm only getting like $1 or $2, few dollars a case. I'm like, what the hell? Let me just give it to. And these are new cases. Like we use a case for a day or two, put another one on for a day or two, put a little crazy over here. So they're freaking brand new. I try to give back to the viewer. I'm trying to do everything. Here's the deal. I'm trying to do everything these other tech YouTubers don't do, which is giving back my YouTube revenue to you, the viewer, giving away free cases, giving away earbuds, giving away products. But I'm going to do more. In fact, I just ordered some cases for the S26 Ultra, in for some other devices. I am a Pixel user, and guess what I don't use? Cases. Really? So, have you ever dropped your phone? Have you ever busted a screen? I've got a few busted screens. Now, I have insurance on my stuff too. And look, I'm not a big fan of the super bulky. You remember those OtterBox cases? And I used to hate those. I still do. Look, when I'm inside the house, I'll usually not use a case or a very thin case. But when I leave the house, nah, I'm not that bold yet. It's, knock on wood, it's rare that I drop my phone. I do it inside the house quite often, but we don't have concrete floors, right? We have wood floors that don't do anything to the phones, and carpets in the bedroom. So, I really don't need a case inside the house, but I would, if I'm going in the garage, if I'm going outside, definitely got to have a case. Use a Spigen. I do too. They just purchased, well, not say just purchased, Caseology maybe a year or two ago, and now like Caseology is under the Spigen. I love Spigen too. I got a ton of their cases. I just wish they would offer more colors, because usually all they offer is just black or gray. And you're like, okay. But I always buy Spigen cases. I like Thinborn a lot. Thinborn is one of my favorite companies because they're super thin. It's almost like you're not even using a case. And interesting fact that the material that they make the Thinborn cases out of is the same material that they build the F1 cars out of. So if they build the F1 cars out of aramid fiber, I'll take a case. Yeah, that's made of aramid fiber. So, well, hey, that's on you. There was one time I didn't even drop my phone. I was coming inside the house and had my hands full, right? I think I had food, I had mail, and my phone, and I always carry 2 phones with me, sometimes 3, but 2. And so I had all this stuff, and I was coming in from the garage to the inside of the house, and I kind of opened the door, can barely turn the knob where it opens, where it just barely cracks where the lever goes, so you can kind of nudge it open. So I nudged it open, and I was like looking around, and I set my stuff on the ground, my phone on the ground, so I could use this extra hand. And as I was coming up, the phone in my right hand dropped, and it literally dropped right on the display. What was that? An S23 Ultra or S24 Ultra? I can't remember, but I didn't drop the phone. I dropped a phone on a phone. And I was like, oh my God. Man, that sucked. Have you tried? You know what? I have never purchased a Pitaka case. I always see them. I see them on Amazon. I see them quite often. I just never bought them. Mainly because Thinborn sends me all their cases, and they're expensive, and they should be. That material they use is top quality. So I've never had the urge to buy a Pitaka case because I always get Thinborn cases. So I've built up a good relationship with Thinborn, with the owners over the last couple of years. So not like I'm like, I'm against buying Pitaka, but if I did, it would be my own money. I might reach out to them and see if they could send me something. Another case company I like a lot is Nilken. Have y'all used Nilken before? I think they're out of China, but I love those cases. They're thin, they're kind of basic, but I just love the build quality of those Nilken cases. Always love those. Fully covers the frame and has extra NFC buttons. No kidding. No, I've never. I might have to do it with this Pixel, or just go ahead and grab me a Samsung one for the S26 Ultra. Poetic. Yeah, I've had some Poetic cases. They're pretty good. Why don't people cover the fact that majority of Pixel AI features don't work outside of the US despite being sold worldwide for the same price? I had no clue. I didn't know that. I thought that's news to me. I thought they worked everywhere. Yeah, if that's true, that would suck, right? It wouldn't really make any sense. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I like your video on the Rinky magnetic. Oh, well, thank you. I like Rinky as well. I have a ton of Rinky cases. Just got your S26 Ultra not too long ago, but can't seem to find a case that you like. Interesting. I think I gave most of mine away. I was gonna see if I have a couple extra. I might send you one. I'd have to go through my closet. I got a box of cases. I got them all over the place. What do you like? Do you like thin cases? Real protective cases, kickstands, because I typically don't buy stuff with kickstands. I do like to have that magnetic ring, obviously. It just kind of, if you could tell me kind of like what you like, thin build, medium build, bulky, I can kind of point you in a couple of directions. But I have, you know what? I got a whole box of. Hang on a second. I got a whole box of some of these cases. Hang on. S26. I think these are all S26 Ultra. I got, Jesus, this one looks like this needs to be cleaned. Samsung. What is that? No, that's JTech. It's one of those cheap ones on Amazon. I got Thinborn. I got a cheap Temu case. I got, these are real nice. What is this? Crave. Got a big cutout, but it is nice. It helps prevent the wobble. Thinborn, Crave. Here we go. Here's Nilken. These Nilken cases, they're thin but very protective. You see that? What is this? Samsung silicone. and then Rinky, and that's just some of them. That's just what I could grab. These are the cases that I'll trade out every day. So every day I'll throw one of these on and just switch it up every day. This is like my normal rotation right here, and that's just some of them. So if you want one of them, let me know. I'll send one to you. Email me, esimstudios@gmail.com. If you got an S26 Ultra, I'll send you a case. I'll have to see what else I got here once the show is over, but email me and I'll see what I can do for you. Let's get started. Locked and loaded. Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry about that late start. I actually have another. I got a lot of YouTube channels, but my NFL channel, Just NFL. It was preseason starting, and I had to do some recording for that channel. I own that channel. It's under my email, but I also share the uploading the content with one of my YouTube friends, Hank. He's a Chicago Bears fan, so I do uploading. He does uploading, and we're getting going since his NFL season has started. So, been working on that lately. Let's see. I usually go for the rugged style since I'm usually so brutal on phones. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of rugged cases. The most protective case I probably have is, at least right now, is probably one of these Crave cases. They're dual layer. Dual layer is the best for protection, like where you can take it apart. It has 2 layers, right? But these are super protective. I can send you one if you want. Just email me. I'll get you one to you. What do you think about the mouse cases? Never had one. I never purchased one. I think they're pretty protective. I always see them on social media throwing their phones up in the air and hitting the ground. I mean, you know what I think it is? I'm not too wild on their design. I like the way things look, aesthetics, design language. So typically I'm kind of picky. My wife makes fun of me because I'm boring when it comes to that stuff, but I don't like all this wild stuff. Some of their designs I'm not too wild about. I think that's just why I've never purchased one. But I think they're protective, like they do their job, if you want me to be honest. Like, obviously you see them throwing it up 20, 30 feet in the air and the phone hits the ground and it's perfectly fine. So when it comes to protection, I think that's okay. I don't know. I just haven't found one that I like. What do you think the phones in the US will be removable batteries? I've thought about this, and I don't know. I don't think they will, to be honest with you. I think the tech companies are going to lobby very, very hard against this. I don't think I know they don't want removable batteries. The EU, obviously, as you know, has been very progressive when it comes to kind of stepping outside the box when it comes to tech, the practices, the products, make it more user-friendly. Here in the US, it's the complete opposite. It's the complete opposite. So I don't think they will, to be honest with you. I just don't see it happening. I just don't. I think that, at least here in the next few years. But maybe in 5 or 10 years, maybe. All right? Hang on one second. This freaking cat's going to jump on the table and mess up my stream. Hang on. Yeah, sure. Just email me and I'll send you some. The only case I ever put on with pleasure was the fabric case. Yeah, I remember that. Mouse has some decent looking cases, but I've never had one. Always exclusively bought UAG, but they've got. Yo, isn't that crazy? Hang on, we'll talk about that. Hang on one second. It's funny. We have this cat. I freaking love this cat. She's like a dog. I swear to God, she has the personality of a dog. She'll rub on your feet, she'll roll over, and she wants you to pet her belly. You know, cats hate that stuff. This thing is like a dog. And I was like, you know what? Can't you clone cats? And I started to look at, not now, but like when she dies, make another one. I mean, she's awesome. I love this cat. And it's possible. Ironically, the world leader in pet cloning is right down the highway here in Texas. And I was like, oh, cool. That's convenient. And I get on their website and I saw the price and I was like, oh, never mind. It's $50,000 for a cat or a dog. $50,000. It's like, oh, I thought it was going to be like, you know, 5, 6, 7. I was like, start saving up now. But 50? Hell no. I have to make her last. Let's see. I'm considering switching to the Z Flip 8 because I want a phone I'm on less. Was going to wait for the Clicks communicator, but I've seen people saying Z Flip is less distracting. Thoughts on the phone? I love it. I love this phone. Now, it's cool because on here, you bring up a good point. And for whatever reason, I like this style foldable better than the book style foldable for that exact same reason you're inquiring about. Because this phone, you can now use more apps on the outside display and you use it less, if that makes sense. Because let's say you check your phone for phone calls, for text messages, maybe you check in the score of the Chiefs game or the Baltimore Ravens game. I got the game on right here. You know, simple, easy, quick tasks, right? Well, you can do that on your cover screen without even opening this up. And it's quick, it's easy, it's small, and you get whatever you need done and you get off. It's not like a regular phone or a book style phone where you have the full operating system on the outside display. You know, you're answering a text or two, and before you know it, you're doom scrolling on Instagram for an hour. You know, that's why I'm not on social media a lot, because I just post what I need to post and get off, because that stuff sucks you in. They are very good at throwing stuff you like to watch up in front of your face, and before you know it, you're like, holy crap, a whole hour's passed. It feels like 10 minutes, you know? So, yeah, this phone is perfect if that's what you're looking for it to do. I don't maybe I'm going a little too far. Not that I don't recommend the Clicks communicator. People online go gushing over these things, but it's just a cheap phone with a physical keyboard. That's all it is. The camera sucks. There's no processing power. Like, in my opinion, that's why I'm never going to buy one. That's why I'll never review one. What's the point? You see what I'm saying? It's just a little display with a physical keyboard. And I get it. Some people like them, and that's cool. If you do, cool. I just don't. So yeah, something like this would be absolutely perfect for what you're looking to do, because you can get what you need to get done on this outer display, and then boom, put it right back in your pocket. Or if you obviously want to go a little deeper in what you need to do, just flip it open and away you go. So I think it's great. Badass little phone. It's got the Snapdragon processor in here. It's got the modem in here. It's a badass phone, but you're not going to see people talking about it online because everybody's talking about the Z Fold 8, and rightfully so, but this is not getting nearly as much attention, and they've refined it over the years. I've had every flip ever made, and this is by far the best one, right? And I hear people say, oh, well, just get a Flip 7. They really didn't change much. True, but they changed the very most important thing you can change, which is the processor, the modem, the GPU. This thing is a little beast. This thing will chew through any app you throw at it, any game, any process, 4K editing, everything. It's a freaking beast. The Flip 7, remember, Exynos processor, not bad by any means, but limited to some extent. and it's running on an Exynos modem. So depending on where you live, that might be an issue. So me, for one, was ecstatic when I heard they were going to put Snapdragons in here. I was very, very happy. And I think this is almost, again, no perfect phone, but to date, this is their best candy bar style flip phone. Now, I've never used Motorola flip phones because they don't update them, but I'm very happy with this. And, just give it a try. Find one, purchase one. Obviously, if you buy one on Facebook Marketplace, probably can't return it. But Best Buy, Samsung, you got 14 days. Amazon, they give you 30 days. Buy one, use it, see if you like it. More than likely, I'm pretty sure you will. It's a good purchase, and I think for that specific reason you're looking into, I think that's a good deal. Because I was just thinking about that same thing a few days ago. I was like, you know what? This probably would reduce your usage because you just do what you need on the cover display and get off. It doesn't suck you into the operating system like other phones do. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot to do this. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Before you know it, your whole afternoon is gone. Very good at that. I'd be okay with no IP rating as long as I can get IP68 rated case. Huh. Can you do Google Meet with cover screen? I don't know. Let's find out. So I'm going to go in here and edit. Let's see. Let's go. Because I think I have that on my cover screen. Let's see. Where are we at? Google Meet. Add apps. All right, so let's do this. Let's remove authenticator. And let's put on Google Meet. Damn, do I have it downloaded on this phone? Oh, search, duh. Meet. There we go. Okay, so I just added it. Let's find out. Yeah, it works. Hang on, let me go back. Let me change my account to my personal account, and I'll show you. Damn, I got a lot of personal info in here. Shit. Well, it works. Look, here, I got it to the home screen. New. Why won't this focus? Anyways, you can do create a link, schedule a meeting, group call, and then you got all your contacts down here that you can do a meeting with. Yep, you can do all that on the front cover display. They really opened it up, honestly, just in the last year. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Oppo Find X9 Pro. You can probably get a good deal on one right now. I know the X10 series is coming out, I think in at the end of the year, maybe around September, November. I think the X10 series is coming out. So you got a couple more months of that being the current flagship. And yeah, I think it's a great time to buy one. Now, those are going to be good for years to come. It has literally some of the best camera sensors you can find on there. It's got a good, nice style look to it. So yeah, I think it'd be a great time. All right, is there anybody that wants to come up to the panel? If there is, I'll go ahead and send the link out, and I'll put it in the chat. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. No big deal. And if you don't, hey, no hard feelings. It's all good. But if you want to, just let me know and I'll send the link out and you can come up. We can talk some technology. Let me open up. I wanted to show you. I think this with this new Pixel, I think Google is, thank God, is because look, what is one of the downsides to having a Pixel, right? When you compare it to other phones, the phone itself is great. But when compared to Samsung, it's less customizable than Samsung. We're talking about the operating system. It's less customizable than OnePlus, Oppo, right? I think they're starting to change that. Slowly but surely, you're starting to see them open up the customization a little more. And I think they know this. Because look, I've even criticized them in the past. That's why sometimes I'll use a Pixel for a while, but then I'll jump back on a Samsung or on a OnePlus because it's just a little more, you can style it, you can theme it a little more. You can make it yours, that give it that look and that feel that you want. I think they know this, right? Because I've heard other people call them boring too. So in this brand new beta operating system that they just launched, you can start theming. Now it's on the beta only. Now I know they've added some stuff in the last month or two, but this one is actually, you can see them taking the steps to, and look, they're not just going to turn into a Samsung operating system overnight, right? It's or with on the next monthly security patch. It's going to take them maybe a year, I don't know, 6 months, but it's not going to be just like Samsung where you can customize everything under the sun, but at least they're letting users do a little more and a little more as time goes on. You can see the gradual progress of the operating system. So let me pull up my browser here and I'll show you. Let's see, where was this article at? Nine to 5 Google, Android 17 QPR2. So let me cancel out of here. 9 to 5 Google. QPR2. All right, let me share my screen. Let's see. Share screen. So look at this. Android 17 QPR2 lets you customize Pixel Quick Settings Layout. Quick Settings Layout. So it's a start, right? It might not be the most customizable thing under the sun, but at least, taking those steps, right? That's what it's all about. Finally, how long has this been? That's one of the major advantages that Samsung has over the Pixel is you can customize One UI. One UI is a fantastic operating system. I'm not gonna lie. I know some people like Samsung, some don't. I got Pixel users subscribed to the channel that only use Pixel, and I have Samsung people that just use Samsung. I use both. I like both for different reasons, right? Again, asking me what my favorite phone is, what my favorite operating system is, that's like picking between picking a favorite child, right? It's like, I don't know. I could go either way. But here are screenshots. And here's the other thing. Those of y'all that did upgrade to a Pixel 11 series, are y'all going to run beta software? Because I've been debating this with myself inside my brain. Should I run beta on this one or should I not? I might just have to. I probably not, but I think I'm gonna have to buy an older Pixel just to run the beta software on it to do videos that show this, to let you know what's going on in real time, because I can only show you what's going on a on a web page. But I think it'd be best if I actually had a device and showed you here's what they're changing and here's how it compares to Samsung's One UI, because it appears they're going to be making some more changes in the future. That's what the word is on these internet streets, is that there's more to come of this. Now, here's another issue that Pixel has, is you can change the icons, but sometimes not all of your icons will change. It's like little things like that where you can change your icons, but only like 75% of them will change. You're like, well, what's up with the rest of these? So it was just launched. Was it launched in this one? The Surprise Friday drop of Android 17 QPR2 lets you customize the layout of quick settings shade on Pixel. This editor was introduced in the latest Android Canary build for a relatively short turnaround. Quick settings, and tap the pencil icon in the corner. A new layout tab at the bottom of the screen lets you reorder in brightness bar, tiles, media player, default. You cannot remove any of these. Wait, you cannot remove any of the 3 items. Huh. Are they gonna see Motorola? Motorola, actually, their operating system pretty freaking similar to Pixel. It looks like Pixel might, because you can do this already on Motorola devices, right? Or at least on the Signature you can. I'm sure you can on the Razr Fold. It's actually very similar to a Pixel operating system. It's just more customizable. And I've said this in the past. Wouldn't that be cool if on the Pixel UI, if it was a little more customizable, just like the Motorola software? Because Motorola's skin is essentially stock Android, but is Pixel really stock Android? No, right? I mean, it's like stock Android is, if anybody has messed around with custom ROMs in the past, you all know that a Pixel is not really stock Android. That's what everybody kind of calls it now, but it's not. It's Android, but they put their Pixel look and feel to it. This is more like stock Android Motorola than anything I've seen, even more so than Pixel. But it's more customizable. So I think you're going to start seeing Pixel kind of move in that direction, which I'm glad to see. It's been a long time coming, and I think that will help users stay on a Pixel. They won't get bored as fast, right? Let's see here. I put the link in the chat. If anybody wants to come up, you certainly can. I got what time is it? We got a few more minutes. If you want to come up and chop it up with me, you're more than welcome. You don't have to show your face, and I don't mind if you curse, but I'm trying to stay monetized here, so that's why you won't hear me curse a lot every now and then. But YouTube, you know how it is. Let's see here. There was another. We went through the Snapdragon stuff. Oh yes, here's something that I want to know. Maybe y'all could help me out. Has anybody used a third-party app store on your phone yet? Because I haven't figured out how to do it. Now I haven't looked into it as far as I haven't really sat down to, and I'm sure I could figure it out, Google, exactly that. But have any of y'all done that? Because apparently we're supposed to be able to run third-party app stores on our phones right now. Let me see. So apparently, where the hell did my 9 to 5 Google go? Apparently there's an article on here it looks like there's a little holdup. Maybe we'll have to look at that. Okay, so before we get away from Android, the beta, let's see what's in here. Oh yeah, and it looks like Google is going to put out a fitness tracker. Have y'all seen this? Check this out. For those of y'all that don't like Pixel Watch like myself, but you want something to track your health, maybe your workout, well, it looks like Google has a new fitness tracker. You see this thing right here? You see this little band? It's showing this new fitness tracker with all the new pixels, but this was not announced at the launch of these pixels. So, kind of looks cool. I'm not a big smartwatch person, but this looks like essentially a wearable for health tracking, workouts, sleep, stuff like that. And to be honest with you, I don't wear smartwatches, but my wife does. She says the Pixel Watch has the very best sensors when it comes to tracking your heart rate, your beats per minute, all this stuff. Way more accurate on the Pixel Watch than on the Samsung watches. I'll take her word for it. Just to put that out there. So if you need a good one, this might be a good option. I know not everybody likes the way the Pixel Watch looks. It looks girly to me, but everybody's different. But this one looks like something that doesn't look so girly. If you can see this picture right here. They got one in this little pistachio color, or whatever they call it, green. And then they have one like in a frost color right here. Now, I don't know when they're going to start selling these. I don't know how much they're going to be, but I'm assuming they should be right around the corner. Hopefully they're only $100. I don't know. These smartwatches are getting up there in price. Just thought I would lay that out there. I've never seen this before. So it looks like something right there. Pretty cool. Now, Android 17, QPR to Beta 3. What else did they add in here? Well, let's find out. App Lock. It says, add App Lock to keep notes. So you got App Lock, Bubble, Remove Widgets, Pause App, App Info. Blur on Pixel Lock Screen. That looks pretty cool. You got your customized quick settings. You've got your expanded dynamic color theming. That goes into opening up the theming a little more customizable. You can make your search bar a little more transparent. Maybe you have been able to do that. I have no idea. My Pixel's been sitting in the closet for 6 months. Pretty cool, I guess. I mean, I could be a little more, but at least they're trying. Let's see here. I wanted to get into third-party app stores. Let's see. It might not even be available right now. Amazon has the best Pixel 11 deal. Enhanced trade-in values, $350 gift cards. So I found out one downside to getting a Pixel 11. I know I mentioned yesterday or the day before the Pixel 11 might be the very best one to get out of the entire lineup, right? Because I said It's basically the same phone. 2 out of the 3 camera sensors that are on the 11 can be found on the Pro models. I did mention the display is a 1080p plus display, not a 2K display like on the Pros. But I came across one downside last night that I'm going to cross it off the list automatically, and it might not matter to you, but it matters to me. Is there's no Wi-Fi 7 on the Pixel 11. The only Wi-Fi 7 comes in the Pro, Pro XL, and Pro Fold. The base Pixel 11 only goes up to Wi-Fi 6E. And I know a majority of you are saying, well, that's fine. I only have Wi-Fi 6 at home. I get it. But if you're going to hang on to the phone for more than a year, it's going to matter, because as time goes on, Wi-Fi 7 is going to get adopted more and more and more. Your choice for internet provider that you have at your home and or apartment might start offering it. I encourage you to upgrade. It makes a world of a difference. Huge difference. I thought it wouldn't really make that much of a difference. I was wrong. So just think about that if you are considering getting the base Pixel 11. No Wi-Fi 7. That's a big bummer. When I heard that last night, I didn't believe it, and I actually physically went to go look up the information. They were right. No Wi-Fi 7. So I said, ugh, cross that off the list. Let's see here. Since I can't find it, let's do this. Google now allows third-party Android app stores directly inside the U.S. Google Play Store. Are they sure? I looked last night and I couldn't find anything. Complying with antitrust ruling from Epic Games. Okay. Aptoide Games is the first rival marketplace available for direct download, installing it just like a standard app without requiring manual sideloading. So let's take a look. Aptoide. I used to use them back in the day, but I had to sideload it. Aptoide Wallet? Here's what I get. Yo, what's up with this video? What's up with this webcam? Sorry. It says, looking for Aptoide Games. If you're looking for app stores, you need to go directly to the third-party app store page. Where the hell is that? Ah, this is new. They literally just added this today because I looked last night. This wasn't there. So they now have an app store page. Aptoide Games. No, but that's for games though. What about for regular applications? Interesting. Oh well. Does the Samsung App Store count? No, because that wouldn't, I mean, I guess technically it would, but you can't, obviously you can't use a Samsung App Store on a non-Samsung phone. But believe me, they've hammered that out, that agreement, the legal terms and all that stuff with Google to allow Samsung to have a operational app store on an Android device. I'm sure they had to get special permissions and work a deal out with them just to have that on their phone. So I guess technically that would count, right? It is a third party app store, but Well, I was gonna say, I don't know. It might not, but I guarantee you they got special permissions for that. I need to upgrade my router to Wi-Fi 7 to go with my Pixel 11. Oh yeah, trust me. I didn't think it made that big of a difference. I got home, I'm sorry. I have Google Fiber, and they shipped it to me. Plugged it in. It takes a few minutes to set up. It's very easy, and I was blown away. It's gonna blow you away. It's lightning fast. I can go across the street and I still have like full Wi-Fi service. It's amazing. It's not only is it very strong, but the distance it covers, like triple the time of Wi-Fi 6. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. And the cool thing is your Wi-Fi speeds, like, okay, let's say you pay for a gigabyte from, I don't know, what is it, Verizon Fios or whatever. And you have Wi-Fi 6 router and you pay for a gigabyte. Now you're only going to see that gigabyte when you plug it into the router to a computer, and then do a speed test, right? That's typically when you only see your true Wi-Fi, the speeds that you pay for. Because if you do a Wi-Fi test on your phone, it's going to be like 300, 400 megabits per second, right? Wi-Fi 7 changes all that. I get close to what I pay for on Wi-Fi, upload and download speeds. So it's a huge deal. And again, if you don't have it, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but I can promise you it's a big change. How competitive do you think the new MediaTek processor will be? Will compete against the Qualcomm? Very, very. In fact, I cannot wait until we get our device in here so I can test it. I'm a nerd like that. I like stuff like this, especially because I'm in a dead spot. Well, I guess technically I still get better signal strengths when I go 100 yards away from where I'm sitting right now, just for whatever reason, geography, just where I'm at in the hill country, hilly. Sometimes the signals were like in a little dip. I cannot wait to test that. That's like, I get excited for that. So yeah, I'm going to test it out. I'm going to try to make it as fair as possible too. It sucks because it's eSIM only. So I'm going to have to get clever with, because I'm running on my main SIM card, a physical SIM card. So I'm going to have to get clever with, I want to test it on the same network on the same SIM. So I might have to switch to do a speed test on my Samsung with a Qualcomm with my physical SIM card. And then I'm going to have to convert it to eSIM, switch it to the Pixel, and then do the speed test. And I'm also going to do signal strength test. All that's not just a speed test, but actually see how strong the signal is. And then go to T-Mobile and get me and then convert back to physical SIM. I'm not ready to make the change yet completely, but I'll do it for a good video. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited, man. We'll have to see. From all the research I've done, it's neck and neck. Like it should be that good. It should be that good. You have the latest Comcast Xfinity router, and I am on Wi-Fi 7 as we speak. It's very fast and stable. Good. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. The MediaTek processor is like 80 cheaper than Qualcomm this generation. Yeah, the M90, right? MediaTek M90. Yeah, it is. I just wish more companies would use MediaTek. I really do. I like MediaTek. I like their products. I think they make fantastic products. Just wish more companies would use. I mean, Samsung uses MediaTek for their processors, GPUs, in the tablets, in the Tab S10, Tab S11, and the upcoming Tab S12 series. They switched from Qualcomm in the S9 series to MediaTek in the S10 series to current, and it's been great. I've used the S7 tabs, the S8s, S9s. I'm about to get a S11. Samsung's about to launch the Tab S12 series here next month, So their S11 tablets, their flagship tablets from this year, are heavily discounted. So I've been eyeing one, and I think I see one I'm going to get, but they have MediaTek, and they're great. They're really good. So I love MediaTek. I just wish, again, they would put MediaTek in more phones. Kind of wish the Pixel had MediaTek CPUs as well, but you know, I think we've beaten that topic like a dead horse over the last few days. Is there a way to test SATCOM feature? I think it's on new Pixels. You know, unfortunately, when I don't think so. Now, don't hold me to that, but when satellite service texting signal became a deal, remember about a year ago or 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago, 18 months, year and a half, whatever. You remember when that became a thing, when they were like, oh, we now offer satellite connectivity for, you know, I think they showed somebody hiking on the side of a mountain in the middle of nowhere, and he was like, you know, that's when it kicks in. Well, when I got my very first phone, and I think it was the S24 Ultra, S25 Ultra, I think it might have been another phone, but I think it was that phone. I remember, oh wow, so the first phone with satellite connectivity. And I was like, or maybe it was a Pixel, I can't remember. But anyways, I tried to activate it, right? So if you go into the settings, you're like, well, how do I activate this? I turn off my data, still won't connect. You know, I played with the phone to try to get it to activate on a satellite, and it wouldn't. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I got on my T-Mobile account, made sure it was active. I thought, well, maybe I need to activate it. You know, it was already activated. So I'm like, well, what the hell? Do I literally have to be on the side of a mountain for it to activate? And some of the homework that I did basically says yes. Now, it'll only kick in. Now, maybe it's changed. It's been a year since I've looked into this. I just gave up on trying it or testing it when I found this out. But apparently, your phone has to be out of range from your closest network tower. Sorry, I was trying to think of the right word. You have to be, because your phone and the towers always communicate, right? It's how a lot of cops find, crack cases to find out where you were. It's because your phone is pinging off of these towers. Well, apparently that satellite communication, that satellite service up in space won't kick in unless your phone is out of range of a tower. I thought it was backwards. I thought even when you're connected to a tower, you could, push a button and get service from a satellite. That's how I thought it worked, but it doesn't. But again, maybe they changed it, so I don't, could be telling you outdated information, but when I tried to activate it a year ago, I wasn't able to. And apparently it's for when you're out in a desert, maybe you're in the middle of the ocean or on the side of a mountain and you're not anywhere near a tower, that's when it'll kick in. So I wish you could switch it on and off in the settings. That would be cool. But yeah, T-Mobile, AT&T, all these carriers, they use that as a marketing gig, a gimmick, because 99.9% of people are never going to use this. And it feels like it's just another line item on your bill where, we're going to charge you for satellite connectivity, $3.99 a month. Like, well, what the hell? I don't ever leave, even when I do leave the city, I still have perfect, I went up to Central Texas last week in the middle of nowhere, and I still had, I uploaded a short of this. I still had fantastic T-Mobile service, and I was in some little hick town. So I'm like, when the hell? And I thought of that. I was like, when the hell am I going to need satellite service? Never. So I wish you could just cancel it or maybe add it onto your line if you're going to go on a cruise. But even then, they have connectivity, little cell things in the ship. You just don't ever use it. So I think it's just another line item for them to add money onto your bill. You got your S26 Ultra. With the Pixel 11 Pro, I extensively first time testing a MediaTek modem. Wasn't impressed by the Samsung modems. Yeah, I wasn't either. Now, this last one that they put in the Pixel 10 series, it was decent. I'm not gonna lie, it was decent, right? It got strong Wi-Fi performance, and it'll get decent average. I'll say that, average. It'll get average signal strength. Has some strong Wi-Fi speeds. There's been a couple of tests where the Pixel 10 Pro would hit faster speeds than my Samsung, but not all the time. Majority of the time, the Samsung is always the fastest on Wi-Fi, and a large majority of the time, it's always faster on network connectivity. And that's where the new MediaTek modem is going to be neck and neck with these new Snapdragon X85 modems, because it's going to be always consistent, and you're always going to get really good speeds and service, signal strength, everything. This is new generation, new technology that they're putting in this new M90 modem. So yeah, I'm really it does help with battery life, right? Because even past Pixels with the Exynos 5300, 5200 modem, those things were not good, and that would constantly chew through people's battery life because it's always searching for a signal in the background. It's always running. It's a very weak. It'll attach onto a frequency, but then it'll drop it, and then it's looking for another one. It'll attach on here, and a couple minutes later it'll drop it, and then you're connected to channel 66, and then you're connected to channel 12, and then 41. Because I always check that stuff. Again, I'm a nerd. I got all these technical apps on my phone. Whenever I go run errands, I always pull out my phone. I was like, just keep my little memory bank. I wonder what tower am I connected to. Let me see how strong my signal strength is over here. I'm always looking. And that Pixel, more times than not, even with the older models, like I said, it would always be jumping from channel to channel, right? And the little performance thing would always be in the yellow, so while the Samsung would be in the green. See what I'm saying? So I think this is a long time coming. Nobody is talking about this online. No YouTubers are talking about this. I think this might be the biggest upgrade that people aren't even going to notice or even think about, because it will save you battery life. You are going to get fantastic speed. You are going to get fantastic network connectivity. That makes a difference, and nobody even thinks about this stuff. You'd be not. Oh yeah, when concerts that. I know. There's so much more they could do with this satellite connectivity. So much more they could do, and it just seems like, it just seems like a gimmick essentially, or it's just something actually they can charge you for. Now, something you're gonna want to look out for here in the next year is, have you heard Elon Musk is going to create he's already created it, his own network, meaning like he's going to compete against T-Mobile and AT&T and Verizon with his own network. I know they kind of partner with T-Mobile, they partner with AT&T, with Verizon to provide that little satellite connectivity in your phones. Well, now I think they filed with the FCC. They're going to go, starting this year, start bidding for spectrum on these FCC bidding wars that these carriers have on these 5G stuff. But he's going to put his satellites in low orbit, that they're going to have essentially 5G. I don't know the technology, but it's essentially going to be, your towers are going to be in space. So that's a big deal. And then instead of having to, I'm going to Spain next week, I'm going to have to go to Spain. When I get touchdown, download an eSIM, and then, that type of thing, the traveler's eSIM thing. Well, on this new network that Elon Musk is going to offer, you pay monthly and you can go anywhere in the world, literally in the world, and you have service. Now, I don't know the signal strength, if it'll be any good. I don't know the download speeds, if it'll be any good. It'll And obviously with time, I'm sure it'll get stronger and stronger as they buy up more spectrum and more spectrum from the FCC. And honestly, I would probably not, it sounds cool, right? But I wouldn't jump on there at first. I know it may seem like the cool thing to do and the most logical thing to do. I would give it a few years. These things take an enormous amount of money, an enormous amount of time and effort to get these networks up and running. Look how long T-Mobile, just for example, T-Mobile has been around. Well, it wasn't until just this last year that their network is badass. Look, Verizon, for something, it seems like Verizon flipped a switch. I know they just purchased a bunch of spectrum 6 months ago. And just now their network is really good. And AT&T just got their first 5G standalone network. And I mean, these companies have been around for 20 years. Longer. Obviously, AT&T's been around for 100 years, but you get the point. I'm talking about like mobile connectivity. So it's going to take his new company, his new carrier services company, it's going to take him a while to get going. So, like, if you want to jump on there, as soon as it's launched, be my guest. But I'm going to wait at least a few years before I even consider it, just to let it mature a little bit, let them buy some more spectrum, let them iron out all the kinks, right? Because when you launch something like that, it's a huge deal. And it's going to, may have some road bumps, may have some issues that you want them to iron out, right? Because one thing is, okay, you got these satellites in space that are giving you the connectivity to your cell phone, but what about when you go inside? What about when you go into a parking garage? What about when you go into a huge building like the not the World Trade Center, like the Empire Building, right? Can it penetrate? You're going to have to be sitting next to a window when you make a phone call or you want to get on the internet. Like, how is it going to penetrate the buildings, the concrete, the metal? I have no clue. Obviously, they have smart people working there that'll figure this out. Maybe they'll beam down frequencies to the ground to some pods or towers on the ground. And then maybe those pods and towers on the ground will beam it, sideways. Essentially, that'll penetrate through the walls and stuff, so you don't have to go through 100 layers of concrete floors like if you're in the Empire State Building. See what I'm saying? So all this stuff takes an immense amount of time, money, and effort to get these things going off the ground. So that's why it sounds cool, but shit, I'm not going to mess with that for a while. Can I transfer my eSIM between the Pixel 11 Pro and my S26 Ultra without contacting my carrier? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. My wife does it all the time. She can't make her mind up. She has an S26 Ultra, a Z Fold 8, and a Pixel 10 Pro, and now we're waiting on the Pixel 11 Pro for her. She switches her eSIM between those three phones at least once a day. I'm not even lying to you. Every time she switches her eSIM from one phone to another, back to this phone, back to that phone, I always get a text message. Phone number such and such transferred their eSIM. If you didn't authorize this, please contact T-Mobile for security reasons. So I see whenever she transfers her eSIM, I always get a text message. I'm like, oh, you switched phones again, huh? Yes, they make it very easy, and they're making it easier. They know it's a hassle, and if they want us, the general public, to jump on the eSIM wave, they're going to have to make it easier. And they have. And it's even easier with this new Pixel 11 Pro, Pixel 11 series. They're now making, in the new Samsung S26 series, you're going to like this. They make it even easier now for you that have a brand new S26 series or Pixel 11 series. You got two of the best phones you can do for eSIM switching. They now make it easier to jump back and forth with an iPhone. So you don't have to contact your carrier at all. So yeah, you'll be just fine. You can switch them 3 times a day back and forth if you want to and don't have to talk to your carrier. Yep. I heard somewhere that T-Mobile only allows you to switch your eSIM from phone to phone 5 times a year. Oh no. That is completely false. I can tell you from firsthand experience, my wife has changed her eSIM 5 times in the last 2 days. And literally in the last month, probably 30 times. I'm not exaggerating. I am not. I'm not exaggerating. She's trying, because our return window for the Z Fold 8 is this week, I think on Friday. So she's using it. She's not using it. Should I keep the S26 Ultra? Let me transfer my eSIM to that. Boom. Let me go back to the Pixel because I'm getting a new Pixel. Well, whenever that comes in this week, she's going to switch it to that. She's switching it back and forth. She's using a new phone every few hours to see what she likes. So, no, if there is a limit, we would certainly find out, because she's switching eSIMs like literally I'm going to say every few hours, but probably every 12 hours. She'll switch it to another phone. She's probably, like I said, probably changed it 30 times in the last month. So there's I don't think there is. And maybe that was true as of a year ago. So whoever told you that, maybe it was true at that time, but now, no, there's no limit. There's no limit. It's a good question. I don't know if it's true, but one reason, yeah, but look, physical SIM is just easier. Like, my whole thing is, and chances of this happening are low, but it can happen. What if your battery goes dead? What if you're running low on battery? You can't switch an eSIM to a phone, to your second phone, if your battery's dead, right? It's just, I don't know. It's just little stuff like that. And yeah, they've made it easier. Okay, so it takes, realistically, I was next to her when she did it yesterday. Realistically, it takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5, because you gotta transfer it, which takes about a minute. It takes a few minutes, right, for it to process, and then I think they tell you to restart your phone, and you gotta wait for the boot animation and all that stuff. It takes a few minutes, but I can literally take my SIM card out of this phone, put it in this phone in 10 seconds, right? So again, if they want us to switch, if they're really going to pressure us, they need to make it easier. And I think they have, but I still am going to resist as much as possible. S24 base model is like $330 on Amazon renewed. Huh. $330 S24. That sounds about right. The most I would pay, I bet you could find one on eBay for like $300, but I think $330 sounds about right. USA customer, or otherwise, it'd be easier just to recommend Poco or something. Yeah, it would, but here's the thing. Here's why those phones will never be big here in the US. It's because obviously the other companies, Apple, Samsung, don't want those phones sold here, so they're going to lobby against them being sold here. But you can jump on eBay and grab one, right? But here's the thing with the USA customers. Majority of people get them at carriers. If it's not in the carrier, they're not going to buy it. And here's another little annoyance, is that you can't really warranty it. I know you can pay for third-party insurance, but where are you going to go? Where are you going to go if the screen cracks? We're going to go get it fixed. If my Samsung screen breaks, I can have it replaced in the same day. You know what I'm saying? That's a little annoyance. People, the average American, they like assurances like that. They like that feeling of, oh, if my phone gets stolen, I can get a replacement same day. Oh, if my screen cracks, I can get a replacement the same day. Good luck with the Poco. You know what I'm saying? OnePlus was pushing it. Yeah, they were officially sold in the US, but you would have to, I think, mail it in for repair or warranty work, which, you know, sending it there takes a few days, getting it back takes a few days, and working on it takes a few days. So you're looking at least a week without a phone. So, and that's with OnePlus when they were operating here. If you buy a phone that's not even officially sold here, it's going to be a pain in the ass if something happens to it. So that's one of the biggest things people don't ever think about. That is a pain in the ass. You know, if you're spending $1,500 on an Oppo Find X9 Ultra, I better hope you don't break the screen or crack the glass on the camera on the back, because where are you going to get it fixed at? So that's one of the other things that's kind of a pain in the ass. I wish it was different, but it's just not. It's so easy for somebody to go into a Verizon store and upgrade to the newest, latest phone. And if it breaks, well, I'll just get it replaced the same day. Triple Fold 2. No, I know that they are planning on they gave the second version a green light. I just don't know when, that was kind of a special edition, the trifold. I don't know when you can anticipate that. If I hear something, I'll certainly let you know. But I have no clue, quite honestly. If you want a Pixel from Canada, by the way, that has SIM tray. Let me know, because I live up here and I'll do a US solid. I do want one. I certainly do. Now, I just bought one. I guess I could always return it, but I just bought one. But yeah, we'll see. If I might be calling out for you to reach out to me in the future, because minus the iPhone, I don't have any eSIM only phones, and I don't mind so much on the iPhone because I never use it. But on Android, it's a different story. So yeah, I might be kicking myself after using this thing for a while, but it shouldn't be too bad. But I don't know. I might keep you handy. That might come in handy. So let's see here. Y'all have any other questions? Look, here's what I'm gonna do. I know this was kind of last second. Before I get out of here, I just want to say, if I'm paying $300 for a phone, I'm not all worried about repairing it. Yeah, that's true. I just buy refurb Androids. Yeah, that's true. Now, I guess I was more talking about the more expensive ones, Oppo Find X9 Ultra. That would suck. But yeah, a $300 phone, it's kind of a throwaway phone. Or, I get your point. In fact, I've done the same with a couple of phones like that. So it's not that big of a deal if it breaks, or, it still sucks, but it's not the end of the world like it would be for a $1,500 phone. I plan on getting a Pixel 11 Pro XL and pairing it with Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 and Galaxy Buds Pro 4. That's a badass pairing. You are exactly like me, because I can't stand Pixel Buds. I can't stand Pixel Watch. My opinion is they're not trash because their heart rate. I prefer Samsung watches. I prefer Samsung earbuds. And they pair perfectly to Pixel phones. I've been doing that for years, and they work just as good as with a Samsung phone. So I think you're making a great choice, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing here shortly. So I think that's a really good choice. So here's what we're going to do. On the weekends, I'm going to make this a regular thing. I know nobody hit the link today. Nobody joined me on my open panel, but that's okay. Look, on the weekends, I'm trying to set myself apart from other tech YouTube channels. The normal tech YouTube channel, they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to interact with you. They want to tell you what to think. They want to tell you what phone you should be using. They want to tell you what's good. They want to tell you what's bad. They read scripts. So they're not even giving you their honest opinion. They're reading something somebody else wrote for them. Kind of like the president when they did their State of the Union. The president didn't say that. He's reading something somebody else wrote. Well, guess what? Your favorite tech YouTuber, they do that too. So I wanted this channel to be different. I got sick and tired of the same old tech stuff. So you know what? I'm going to make my own channel. It's going to be interactive. I want input from the community, from you, the viewer. That's why I'm giving back my ad revenue in giveaways. That's why I'm having these live streams. Nobody live streams in the tech world on YouTube. I have no idea why. That's why I'm doing it. Now, we're going to take this one step further. On the weekends, I'm going to have open panels, meaning I'm going to go live. I'm going to put the link out there. And if you, the viewer, want to come up and talk, you just want to kick it, you just want to shoot the shit, or you want to ask, hey, what do you think? Should I get the Pixel 11 Pro XL or the S26 Ultra? I don't know. It's up to you, but we'll weigh the pros and the cons, right? We'll do all of that. Should I switch to Verizon? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's jump online and see where you can get the best deal. I'm going to do that. We are going to do that. Something that people like Mr. Who's the Boss and some of these other tech channels, they wouldn't dare do that with their community. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm no different than you are. I just record myself, honestly. Honestly, right? I'm not narcissistic. I don't have a type A personality. I'm not an asshole. I'm a regular person that records themselves. So that's where I think I connect with you, the viewer, a lot better. I'm not just going to sit here and shit on all these YouTubers, but most of them don't give a damn what you think or what your opinions are. I'm the opposite. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know why do you think the Pixel 11 Pro is not good? I want to hear your opinion. Like, I'm honestly curious to see your angle, to see, damn, did I miss something? Maybe I'm wrong. So that's what I want to develop here. We'll continue to do giveaways, but during the week, I'm going to do regular uploading as far as regular videos, and I'm going to go live during the week as well. But on the weekends, that's your day. The weekends, that's Saturday and Sunday. That's your time. I'm going to drop the link. That it'll be open panel each and every weekend whenever I go live. So if you've got a hot take, if you're pissed off at Samsung, did they screw you over? You want to let them know publicly? Come on to my channel on a Saturday. Hop on the channel and let us hear what happened. You want to put Verizon on blast? Did they screw you over? Come over here and we'll discuss it. And I will even at Verizon in the description, so make sure they see it. So we're going to do that over here. I know most or all YouTube tech channels wouldn't dare do that. Well, we're different over here. What's your email again? esimstudios@gmail.com. esimstudios@gmail.com. It's also down, I think it's in the description. I'll have to double check, but usually it's in the description of every video. Oh, wow, I had no clue. Yeah, my wife gave me this one because she got the Watch 9, the 45 millimeter. This was her old Samsung watch, and I'm like, gee, thanks. I don't even wear Samsung watches. It's the classic, the 8 series, the one that you can it's got the dial on it. You can rotate it. I haven't even tried. I don't even think I've turned it on. Maybe I haven't even cleared her account off of here. But I'm like, gee, thanks. Knowing I don't even use these, but it's just been sitting here. I'm glad you got that. It looks really, really cool. Do you think Google will copy Apple and expand eSIM to more countries? Probably at some point. Look, it's a fact. In 20 years, everything is going to be eSIM or iSIM. The next generation is iSIM. I've already looked into that. Everything's going to be eSIM in 10, 15 years. So logical thinking would be, yeah, at some point they're going to expand to more countries and expand to more countries. And here's what really sucks. At some point, Samsung is going to go all eSIM. Nothing at some, well, I guess they're not selling phones anymore, are they? Motorola, eSIM. At some point, everything's going to be eSIM. So eventually, before you know it, Samsung's going to be eSIM only. My God, dang it. That's my thing. I guess it sucks, but I wouldn't mind it so much. I just want the transition to be easy, meaning if you need to transfer to this phone, just make everything seamless. If you're going to force us to do this stuff, it's a hassle. Again, they made it easier on this Pixel 11 series. I've watched a couple of videos and we're about to get one in and we'll go through it. In fact, I'll probably make a video about it. Apparently it's pretty freaking seamless. And that's what they're going to have to do if they want us to adopt it. If they're going to force us to adopt it. You become one of my favorites already. I can always appreciate the authenticity. Well, thank you. Look, that's what I try to do. I don't try to be perfect. I just try to be me. Now, I may say something incorrect, and I've had lots of people in the past, no, that's not true, such and such. Oh, no, okay, well, I don't mind being corrected. I'm human, but that's what these tech channels, YouTube in general, but the tech world specifically, it's horrible at this point. It's absolutely horrible. That's why I don't even hardly watch. The only YouTuber I watch is Flossie Carter as far as tech goes, and that's it. Everybody else is just don't even get me started. But yeah, that's what I try to do. And of course I'm going to say too many times, and of course I'm going to I have allergies, so on some videos that I upload, I'll try to edit all that stuff out. But when I'm live, I'm live. You know what I'm saying? If I got to itch my nose, I'm going to itch my nose. What do you think about Pixel Fold? One side being thicker than the other. Is it? Now, is that because of the camera? I had no clue. I'm not a foldable person, so I've never considered it, never watched a review of one, never held one in my hand. I just never considered buying one, so I never looked into it. I had no clue that one side was bigger. I'm assuming it's because of the cameras, maybe the battery, and I'm assuming it's the back part, right? So the front part that has the display on it, that's probably the skinny part, and the part that's on the back where the cameras are at, that's probably the thicker part, right? Because I think that's where they put the battery and the sensors that have to sit a little deeper into the body of the phone. But I had no clue. Definitely loving the ideas you're coming up with, eSIM. And like I said earlier, I'm not doing an event right now, but next weekend, I would love to join live with you on screen. You are more than welcome. I certainly encourage it, honestly. Look, I love technology. I'm sure you do too. That's why I'm watching. I honestly could sit up here for hours and talk. But I want to add another dimension, right? I want to add something else to the channel. So you catch the drift. I think you do. So I think it would be entertaining, no? I think it would. Get some interaction, throw ideas back and forth. On my free time, I love watching live streams. I love watching live streams. Like, out of every 10 videos I watch that I click on, 8 out of 10 are live streams. So I have like these few shows that I always watch, these few channels, and I absolutely love the live stream element. It's because a lot of times with these uploads, I am editing out a part where I say something wrong, or I scratch my nose, or just to know that it is in real time. I'm literally talking when you hear this come through on your phone or on your device. But I think adding another person, 2 or 3 or 4 people, and actually having a discussion, that's pretty entertaining. Or maybe you have an idea. Maybe I'm misspeaking. Maybe you have another angle that you're looking at something. So I want to bring that to the channel. I think it would add a little something extra. So yeah, please do. Again, so I'm going to upload during the week. I'm going to go live during the week. But on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, when I go live on Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link starting tomorrow at the very beginning of the show. It's going to be in the chat. And you just have to select the link. It'll have you come up. It'll take you to a StreamYard landing page. And I think you can give access. You're going to need to give access to your microphone, obviously. And then you don't have to give access to your camera if you don't want to. You can just have your avatar up there, but we could still hear you. But if you do, then you give access to your video. And then I'll get notified. Somebody's hit the link, and they'll bring you up on stage. And we can do that. And I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. Let's see. I think I already answered that one. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I sent a message the right one. Yeah. Yep. eSIMstudios@gmail.com. Oh, nice. How's the battery life? I heard it's pretty good. Pretty good on that watch. It's a good watch. It's a great watch. Good. I love Floss. Dude has always been one of the realest tech reviewers out there. Yep. You know what? I communicate with him on the back end, and he's actually given me a lot of advice on my YouTube channel. So some of the stuff implemented here was with discussions with him. So yeah, he's really cool. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy. Shane Craig was frustrated that one half of the Pixel Fold 11 was not symmetrical. It was a little thinner. Does it really matter? I mean, that seems kind of nitpicky to me. Does it really matter? I mean, if it is, it has to be 0.3 millimeters. It's not like this. It's not like one side is this thick and the other side is this thick. It's not going to be like that. So it's like, does it really matter? No, it doesn't. But look, everybody's different. So what bothers you doesn't bother me, and vice versa. So, but I had no clue. Well, at least we learned that, right? You learn something new every day. I know what you're talking about, though. I have a hot take. Google has it twisted with the flagships, even though, in my opinion, they're the best looking phone. I agree, they look the best. But the budget phones, if they put a Tensor G5 and a 11A, I think the budget phone's best. I think you're right. I think they should put Tensor in the A series, and I wish they would move to MediaTek in their Pro series. I owned a A56, 9A, and 16E, and the 9A was far above the best. Now, in terms of what? I'm assuming picture, but maybe you're talking about battery life. I know you can't talking to me. I know you can't be talking about performance. Could you? I'm assuming, but I believe that. What are your overall thoughts on the Tensor era Pixel phone, and what do you think of the future Pixel is? It's been a disaster. Why lie? Well, we're about honesty here, right? I'm not going to lie to you. I think, in my opinion, it's been a disaster. I see the vision. I see what they're trying to do. And look, maybe in 20 years, they'll be the Apple of Android. Time out. I'm not talking about the operating system. I'm talking about the power supply. I'm talking about the heart and soul of the phone, their chip. Apple has got the Bionic and their M-class chips for desktop. They're looking pretty good right now. And maybe Google will get to that point in 20 years, but getting from point A to point B is a rocky road thus far. Each and every year, you expect something. Look, I guess technically they have improved by 1 or 2%, but it's not going to be like 20-30% like Snapdragon. Like each and every year, Qualcomm's bringing it. You know, they're going to bring a beast to the table with the very latest Qualcomm, but each and every year, like, you know, they have their struggles. The modem, the Exynos modem. There's a long list of stuff that you just you know, kind of roll your eyes at. And it was very, very exciting when we got the news that they were doing this. I don't think I had a YouTube channel then, but I was ecstatic. I was like, man, this is great. I knew it was going to be a rough road, a rocky road, but not 6 years into the freaking processor. I thought the first one, maybe the second one is going to be a little rough, but I said, give them a few years and they should have it figured out. But we're into the 6th year, and I mean, I guess technically they figured it out, but certainly not competing with its competitors on any level, performance-wise. But, maybe in 10, 15 years, maybe they'll have a processor that'll go neck and neck with Apple. But obviously they're not out seeking performance. I think we know that by now. But it's so far behind in performance, you kind of raise your eyebrow like, what are y'all doing over there? I think the future is bright, but golly, is it taking a long time. They have too much money, and they have all the resources in the world that you can even imagine at their fingertips, right? And I think they're too big of a behemoth to let this fail. So I think they'll figure it out at some point. But when that point is, I have no clue. I don't. But at some point they'll get it right. And by I mean getting it right, maybe my expectations are too high, right? Maybe they will never be the Qualcomm of, Pixel. They're obviously more geared towards the software experience. But I'm talking about, so maybe they'll never be in competition benchmark-wise with Qualcomm. Maybe that's just not their thing. In fact, I think we can put maybe to rest. That is clearly not their thing. So maybe our expectations are out of whack. As long as you have a good on-device experience, there shouldn't be a problem. And Pixels have been fine. It's just when you start comparing them to the competition and the spec sheet. But if you actually use a Pixel, it should be fine. So there's that age-old debate, right? But they have too much going for them not to figure it out. So I think they'll be all right. This has just been a rough 6 years. I wouldn't want to buy a Pixel 11a because it's probably $600. And for that price, you could get like A's 9. Yeah. I'm not in favor of the A series unless it's like a secondary phone, or you need not necessarily a burner phone, but I put my parents and my grandparents with these A series phones. That's kind of who it's for. It's like, here, take this. Here's a decent basic smartphone. I get updates every month. It's secure. It's easy to use. It's kind of who it's for. It's like it's like kids or really old people, or if you just need a second line or a business line or just a backup phone, A series is good. If you're a tech enthusiast like we are, I wouldn't use it as my main phone. You certainly can, but I wouldn't do that. A second or third phone, sure, right? But it's kind of who it's for. Now, I would rather spend $600, and it will be $600. I would rather spend $600 on a phone like this that I would use on a regular basis. You can use this as a daily driver. There's just other stuff I'd rather spend money on, but that's why I got all my parents and my grandparents on the A series. 200 battery cycles, yep. It sucks, man. I don't know what they're going to do with this new one. Charging almost the same as Samsung, but 30% less performance and efficiency. Nah, even at $150 cheaper, still worth just paying for the Snapdragon. I agree. That's what I lean towards. That's who I've, very dependable, very strong, really good battery life right now. Qualcomm's got a very, very nice product out right now. In their processors, they've got it figured out. They certainly have. So I think I got invited. In fact, I got invited to Hawaii for this upcoming launch of the new Snapdragon CPU. But I don't think they offered any airfares. If you looked at airfare, I'm gonna have to go at some point, I think, just to say I've gone. But airfare is like thousands and thousands of dollars. But I have the invitation here. They just sent it out last week, I think. Well, I think it's on this phone. Anyways, I'll probably have to go to one at some point, but whatever. I'm going to get out of here. Been on for almost 2 hours, but I do appreciate the time. Remember, open panel tomorrow. I don't know what time. I'm going to schedule it. I'll try to be on time tomorrow. I'll get all my work done beforehand on my NFL channel out of the way. And if you want to come up and kick it with me, talk some technology, you're more than welcome. I'll probably schedule it for around 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon Central Standard Time, and I promise I'll be on time tomorrow. I promise. I really appreciate your time. Please, everybody, have a safe, enjoyable rest of the Saturday, and I'll see y'all tomorrow afternoon. And come kick it with me. Open panel. Peace out.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand